Hello and welcome back to One More for the Road, a podcast of reviews, retrospectives, and just basically anything we decide to talk about, and I should really be fixing this introduction. My name is Eric. How are we all doing? I'm joined yet again by my favorite person just in the entire world, Felix Wind. How are you doing?
That's me. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I've been indulging in today's topic quite a bit. And playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, and that's what we're going to talk about. But first, I have announcements, and then we have a top three. All right, announcements. Yes. These are not like big announcements. Well, I mean they're medium big. But the my Trails to Azure playthrough will finally begin uploading on this YouTube channel starting tomorrow. Yay. There will be one episode a day, every day, until it's caught up. This will go in conjunction with the podcast, as well as my Cold Steel 2 playthrough.
Ooh, let's go.
You're going to have some days with 2 uploads because there's like 50 parts to this Azure playthrough.
Dang, you know what though? That makes perfect sense. And you were very thorough too.
Yes, it is a completionist playthrough for the most part. I missed like a couple small things, but basically every scrap of dialogue in that game will be on that screen at some point.
Let's go. That's amazing.
Yes. 140 hours.
Whoo! Oh my gosh.
Yup. 140 hours.
Yeah, you definitely clocked in more than me.
Oh yeah. If you want to catch though my Cold Steel playthrough live, it'll be starting tomorrow on my Twitch channel, and Felix, I believe, will be finishing his Azure playthrough over on his Twitch channel within a week or so.
Yeah, within a week. I'm hoping that by Friday we have the credits rolling. If not, it'll be Monday for sure.
I do need to say one thing. Well, you know what? No, I will not say anything about Azure because I have a lot of things that I absolutely have to talk to you about, and it's going to be the Azure podcast will be probably a 2-parter.
Oh, really? Okay.
Dude, you don't understand. You can't.
I don't.
You can't understand.
Okay.
Until it happens. I'm so thrilled for you.
Oh my God.
But yes, definitely go and check out our Twitch channels, respectively, if you want some of that content as quickly as you possibly can be. Also, we will be adding a few items to the merch store. I don't know if you knew we had a merch store with One More for the Road merch. I'm wearing my t-shirt right now.
Ooh. Let's go.
And the joggers. The joggers are so comfy.
Oh, are they? I need to get those.
We're going to be adding shorts because it's hot.
Yep, fair. Yep, you don't even need to say anything else. It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot, so I'm gonna add shorts. But yeah, go check it out. I don't know. There's also other merch. Just go, and then actually I'll drop the Andromeda Arcade merch store and Felix's merch store. There's all sorts of merch stores. Go check those out. Put our stuff on.
Fancy.
Yeah, put our stuff on your body.
Wait a second.
Wait. All right. Top 3. Are you ready?
Yeah. Our top 3 for today.
Today's top 3 is brought to you by Brotheropolis. That's his name, Brotheropolis. My brother. Top 3 Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Ooh. Well, okay. Okay. I think I have my 3. For a little bit of context, I was very hands on and off with Yu-Gi-Oh growing up. So there are a few I have like stored away in my memory somewhere, and I must warn you, they are probably like some of the most well-known like OP cards ever.
Oh, of course.
Or I say most OP, probably. Probably very prominent in the anime as well, probably.
And that's fine.
My first one. All right, I'm gonna try and like throw a doozy I don't even know if this one is used anymore because I know a bunch got like banned and stuff, and some I think are coming back and so on and so forth. But Dark Hole, Dark
Oh,
Hole.
yo.
I don't know if that card is still used anymore.
I
But yeah.
believe it's currently restricted, but I'm
Okay.
frequently wrong. I have no idea what modern Yu-Gi-Oh looks like.
Right. Yeah. Like I'll never forget when I learned that Monster Reborn was banned, and I was like, "What? Why would
Oh,
you do
yeah.
that?" But of course, I get it. Yeah, I remember like way back, just trying to like learn the game and stuff, and somebody would just drop a Dark Hole and be like, "Yep, get rid of this card," and it's like, wow, that's mighty rude. But it was
Yeah.
honestly a pretty funny time every time it did get played. So Dark Hole is on there. After that, I will say Dark Paladin. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I randomly found a Dark Paladin card in like high school on my way to school. It
Like on
was
the
just
ground?
it was like lodged into like the city map at a bus stop I was at. And I was like, why is this here? But it was just there, like a fully
Uh,
like holographic like Dark Paladin card. And I
yeah.
was like, okay.
Do you know where that card originally was printed in?
No.
It was in a gift bundle. I think with like a learn to play. It had like a VHS in it.
What?
Yeah,
And
man.
somebody just well, I have that card still.
I actually don't have my copy of that card anymore. I only have like
Holy
2 cards left.
No way.
3. I own 3 Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
That's wild.
Hmm.
That's wow. Okay. Well,
Dude, that is wild.
there we go. So there's that, and then actually, you know what? Yeah, I'll say the Winged Dragon of Ra.
Oh, of course.
I was pretty locked into the anime around that time,
The
and
anime was good.
just hearing the way all of the characters are saying it, I was like, this is a cool card. Hell yeah.
Just hearing
Egyptian
Dan.
gods.
Just hearing
Yeah.
Dan Green go, "The Winged Dragon of Ra."
Yep, exactly. I loved it.
Oh, the anime was just amazing and iconic.
Yeah.
My top 3.
Mhm.
I have to say the left leg of the Forbidden One out of the
Hello?
Exodia set. It's the left leg specifically. That was the first pack of Yu-Gi-Oh I ever opened. It was a pack of the Legend of Blue Eyes set.
Yeah.
And that left leg was my first rare, and I'm like, well, I gotta build I gotta build an Exodia deck now.
Amazing.
And, yeah, and it was a very, very good time.
So how many times did you get to say the magic words Exodia obliterate? Like
Quite
how
a
many
few.
times? Yeah.
Quite a few. I had a fairly good Exodia deck back then.
Amazing.
I played very heavily between the launch of the game and the release of Dark Beginnings, because that's when they started adding cards to the actual Forbidden list.
Right.
Because
right.
before Dark Beginnings, there were no banned cards.
Yeah.
And that was when they finally were like, all right, everything was just restricted to 1 or 2. And then they finally were like, all right, here's your first pile of forbidden cards. And it was like 90% of my deck.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm done.
Yeah, no way.
I'm outie.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say left leg of the Forbidden One. I'm gonna be that weeb and just say Dark Magician Girl.
Okay, hey, listen, that's valid. She almost made my list.
She was just one of my OG anime waifus, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Look,
Oh, yeah.
I don't make the rules, okay? They made a hot anime magician lady, and I'm like, yes, more of this, please.
Straight up.
I found out there actually fairly recently there's a bunch of variants of her now, and that's a deck. It's like a
yes.
it's like a halfway decent deck. It's not like tier 1, but it's like a tier 2, tier 3 deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, that's dope.
Yo. So it's time for you to get back into the game?
I've been playing a little bit of Master Duel here and there,
Okay.
the Steam free to play thing, but
Yeah.
like it, the problem is that game very much wants to be like a lot of other gacha games and be like, oh, play me every day and then you'll get rewards. And I'm like, but I don't want to play Yu-Gi-Oh every day.
Right.
I barely
Yeah.
want to play Yu-Gi-Oh every week. Come on. But like I just really dislike that I very much fallen out of love of games that are like log in every day so you could get your rewards. And I'm like,
I understand.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like, which is crazy coming from me because like I used to do a lot of like gotcha games. And now I'm just like,
right.
My last one though.
Yes.
Millennium Shield.
Oh, I actually don't even know that card.
It is a 0/3000 normal monster. It's a 5-star.
I see.
And it it's a pretty it was originally in the McDonald's
What?
it was like a McDonald's promo.
What?
So you know how like they do you know how like they recently did like a Pokemon thing where there's like a pack and you got like 2 cards or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, way back in like the early aughts they did that with Yu-Gi-Oh as well, and there were 2 ultra rares. It was that and I don't remember what the other one was. But that Millennium Shield is one of the 2 like the few cards I still own.
Holy wow. That's
I love
amazing.
it. And I used it. I mean, because back in the day, like, stuff wasn't busted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you wanted to summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you were either Lord of D with a dragon flute, or you freaking sacrificed 2 monsters.
You're right.
That was it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, like Gravekeepers were good because nothing was banned.
Yeah.
It was wild, man. But like, yeah. So yeah. Do you have a Yu-Gi-Oh card which you hate? You cannot stand it. Yeah, your bottom one Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Okay. And I think that, yeah, to be honest, okay, it might be this whole line. I actually, oh no, the more I think about it, the more I think it's a hot take. But I actually am not crazy about the what are they? The Elemental Heroes, I think they were called.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about them for some reason. I'm just like, huh. I feel like I'm looking at variants on like the Jetix logo, just kind of just kind of mix and matching or something like that. Like it just never appealed to me for some reason.
All right, no, that's fair. That's
yeah,
fair.
Yeah. And then I think at some point Yu-Gi-Oh almost exclusively became about fusing. Like if you manage to pull off a fusion as soon as possible in the game, like it's GG's. And I was like, dang.
Oh yeah, fusions got real crazy. And then like now, and then there was like link summons and
oh my god,
synchro summons.
Yes, I remember that. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I would have to say my least favorite one is Thousand Eyes or Strict. Because it doesn't do any of the things that I want it to do. And it doesn't work in the way I thought it would based on what the anime was showing me, and it was stupidly complicated to get started and set up, and I'm just like, whatever. It's just it's way too much work.
Oh no.
And I hate it because I built a deck entirely to make it function and to get it out, and then it's just never worked.
Yeah, no way.
So I hate that. I hate that stupid monster. Oh man. But yes. All right. Today we're going to have a very quick Tears of the Kingdom, kind of a midpoint review. I say midpoint as though we're anywhere even close to halfway through our playthroughs of this game. I think we did this with Azure too.
Pretty much, actually.
We didn't know.
We didn't.
How could we have? I've got like 70 hours in, and I have no idea how much you've got time
Um,
wise.
my Switch says approximately the same. I think I'm at around like 60 now.
All right, yeah. And so I feel like we can fairly confidently talk about how we feel about this game.
Yes.
Now, story progress wise, I have done the Water Temple. I think you've done the Wind Temple.
Yes, correct.
And is that it?
Yeah. To be honest, that's it. Otherwise, I mean, well, no, that's not story. That is definitely side content. I
Which
gave a
one?
visit to Laurelin Village finally.
Orland Village. Oh, the seaside
Yeah,
one that's
yeah,
got
where they
the
keep mentioning.
pirates.
Yep, the one and the same. I
Oh
finally went
yeah.
there.
I
Um, and I
I
think it was
wandered
last
down
night.
that way.
Oh
And
yeah,
I
yeah.
was not geared for that.
Really?
I was
Did you
not prepared.
did you venture there like early on?
Yeah, I was just kind of like, well, I kind of started making my way south east after we
Okay.
started, and then I kind of made a quick pit stop at Kakariko down to Hateno,
Yep.
and then I'm like, oh, I'll go to Lorelei or whatever, and like whatever. I like barely talked to anyone.
Ah, I see.
Like I was just
Okay.
kind of hitting some landmarks, doing my tower hopping,
Yeah.
hitting
Okay.
shrines, picking up some upgrades, and I get down there and it's like, oh, there's pirates in a well,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, I'm like, they're like black moblins. I can deal with these three-horned guys, and no, I could not. My strongest
Oh.
bow had like 10
Oh goodness.
damage at that point. Now I could probably go down there and deal with it, but like at the time I had like 4 hearts.
No, yeah, no. Oh, jeez, I couldn't imagine trying to do that with four hearts. No way.
I probably was there for like an hour before I just decided to bail.
Right. Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a bad time all around. Um, but I would say like I've been having a pretty all right time. Like
Hmm.
even a good time,
Yeah.
I would say. What would you say though? Like, let's. All right, here. Why don't you just hit me right off the bat? Like, give me what you're doing in the game. Like, what have you been spending most of your time doing?
Okay. All right. Let me preface this by saying I am an absolute chicken, okay? I haven't felt the way I have felt traversing the Zelda game since like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask. Like I am terrified, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure we talked about this a little bit in our Zelda like general talk. Um but yeah, no, like I'm like fighting the urge to sort of like stop at a spot and just never progress because I am terrified for what is awaiting me around the corner. I have been jumped by gloom hands about 4 times now, okay?
Oh my
And I
god, yeah.
can't like my psyche cannot deal with it. I I'm just like I freeze up every time and I'm like, you know what? Instead of trying to run or to deal with it or anything like that, I'm just going to teleport away. Like, but
I
that is
I saw a clip of you doing that.
yeah, like I've been doing
I
that every time they've approached me because I'm like, oh, I'm stuck. Like, what do I do here? And I
Mhm.
the answer in my head is to just immediately vacate the premises. But the crazier part is I don't flee just to like, just like around the corner or anything like that. Like I take off into the sky and then I dive somewhere else entirely. Like I want
Oh my
nothing to do with
gosh.
that spot. I am consistently scared of like any sort of like collection of trees in any particular area because that's where I was first attacked. Like I was just running like on the outside of a group of trees and they spawned in the middle of them and went after me. And I was like, what is that? Like what? There's no way.
I
So yeah.
I ran into my first one actually right next to a shrine I was trying to get to. There was like a shrine like
Oh my God.
or like a floating platform or something, and I'm like, oh, I could get up there, and then no.
No, you
So
could
like
not.
I was like, oh, and then like it killed my horse.
What?
And then like I jumped and I got it. Like I threw like every freaking bomb arrow I could at it, and then it finally died. And then
No
I
way.
I go to there's like a little fire next to it. And so I was like, all right, there's like a little fire. I'll rest until morning because I don't want to get jumped by skeletons while I'm trying to freaking climb this vine. And a blood moon
Yeah.
happens. And I gotta do it again.
Oh no. Yo, the blood moons in this game are vicious.
They are. I found them to be a lot more frequent.
Yes.
Uh, and actually early as well, because I feel like they were a lot more frequent earlier. But I
Right.
feel like
Yes.
I've had a lot of time since my last one.
Oh, thank God. That must be nice. I'm a little envious.
Yeah, like
Because it feels like they happen to me every maybe 20 to 30 minutes.
see, I feel like I thought that, but then I realized I actually when you messaged me today, I
Mhm.
realized that I had been playing for 20 minutes and I thought it was like maybe 30 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And because that's something this game does to you. Time is meaningless playing this
True.
game. Like
Yeah.
I will sit down and then boom, it's 5 hours later.
Yeah, that
And I've
yeah.
done nothing.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah. I've killed most of the hands that I've come across.
Oh,
And
nice.
stuff happens when you kill some of them.
I see. Okay. I've heard that they drop pretty good loot. And so I was like,
They
cool.
Yes, I got a very baller set of equipment that I proceeded to use on the boss in the temple I fought.
Nice. Okay.
I how was the temple? Like you don't have to give me specifics.
Mhm.
We're gonna be vague about a lot of this stuff, but obviously
Yeah.
like because we're trying to avoid spoilers towards each other, but I did want to have this discussion kind of at this point because I know we're not gonna probably ever overlap
Right.
at any
Correct.
point, and I think it's I've been wanting to talk about this game at
Yeah, no,
length.
that's fair.
But like
Um,
how was the temple and how was the boss for you?
oh my gosh. So okay, the temple itself was really really good. I loved the theme. I loved the use of the I guess the central mechanic for it too.
Mm-hmm.
So like just that experience has made me excited for what they're going to do with the other temples. Um and then the boss. Oh my gosh. I I'll say it like this. I wanted to like cry when I realized what was going on. Just like
Oh
with
wow.
just like with other parts of the game, both Breath of the Wild and this, to be honest, there are references all over the place, right? And so I think where the boss, especially in music, kind of makes reference to previous titles. It was phenomenal. Like it genuinely did move me.
Mm-hmm.
And it really pulled me into the battle too. Um,
Oh man.
I'm excited for you especially to go there and
I
experience what I experienced.
it is in fact that is actually what I'm probably going to be doing next because I am up
Yeah,
in the Hebrew region.
nice.
Where are you currently? Do you know?
My last stop was Lurlin Village, but I plan
Oh,
to go
yeah.
to Eldon. I decided I was gonna go in the order that Pora like tells us about everything going on in. So I'll be going. Well, I did the Rito, so I'll be going Goron, then Gerudo, and Zora last.
Oh wow.
Um,
I
yeah,
I will say that I loved the the feel of the dungeon and the lead
yeah,
up to it
yeah.
for the Zora temple.
Right.
I The boss was strong, but like
Okay.
the fight itself like was a little underwhelming.
I see. Okay.
But I also I don't know. I maybe it wasn't like that I was like overgeared or like that I was like, oh, I expected it to be harder because it was a hard fight. It let me use the the mechanic of uh the area,
Yeah.
and I was really happy. Like, but I don't know. I feel like the boss design was just like fine, and
Yeah.
I think that lets me get to what I guess is my hot take of the week.
Oh no. Talk to me. What's going on?
This game is like fine. It's not great. It's not bad, but it's fine. And I'm going to preface this by saying I am 1000% going to put like 200 hours into this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like it's I think Tears of the Kingdom is a improvement on a lot of the things in Breath of the Wild that I maybe didn't like so much.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of things I even don't mind. Like, I don't like the weapon system, like degradation system, because I feel like weapons still break a little too quickly. But
Agreed.
I feel like it doesn't matter as much now because most of your damage is coming off of the fused stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So
Right.
like you don't need to know, to go hunt down obnoxiously strong equipment and then, oh, your legendary thunder sword broke.
Yeah.
um it's like, oh well, now my crappy short sword that I found is in a ditch that I duct taped a three-pronged moblin horn. Oh, it broke. Oh, look, a stick.
Right.
Duct tape a moblin horn to it. Ah, super.
Right. Yep. Yep. I definitely like the durability system more this time around for sure.
I
And
minded
even
a lot
between,
less.
Yeah, exactly. And even between the common weapons, I feel like without having anything fused,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there still is like a more notable difference in each one's durability. Like I feel like
Yeah.
in Breath of the Wild, with almost every weapon, you'll maybe get like, say we're using a single-handed weapon for measurement, you'll get like one string or two strings off before you're seeing the message like, oh, this is gonna break, and then on your third it does. With this,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely feels like, oh, okay, I comboed with a stick one time and it's about to break. um and then if you use anything else, like any of the other overworld weapons, say like a proper sword,
Yeah.
then you'll get like more out of it before it's like, oh hey, it's gonna break,
I
which is nice. Hmm.
I have on my map, I have several locations marked that have like boulders.
Nice.
Because what something I'll do, I don't know how you deal with like mining, so to speak, but like I every time I like hoard the like sturdy big sticks and then I go look
Right.
for boulders.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Because like I just like, oh my god, I this is the best because it has like the extra durability and it's just like, oh yeah. Now we're
Yeah.
playing with power.
Yeah, I usually am good about having like kind of one of each essential on me. So Breath of the Wild,
Hmm.
for example, taught me to like hold a torch around at all times. So like I'm still holding a torch from like the beginning of the game.
Oh my
Um
god. I
yeah.
Weirdly enough, the torches I are something that I haven't messed with almost at all unless I because like I have the fire fruits if I need like a fire, but like also I can just like slap a bright seed or whatever down and I've got like
True.
400 of those stupid things.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, dude, if I ever need light, just boom. Speaking of
Yeah,
light,
true.
you have not
Ooh.
gone into the depths that much.
Oh God. No.
Which I find crazy because I spend so much time down there.
My anxiety is at an all-time high down there.
I
And it's
mean, and as it should be. There is
God.
some terrifying nonsense down there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, and I know I haven't even seen the half of it yet either. I know I
Oh,
haven't.
dude.
the second one of those, like one of the trees down there jumped at me, I said, you know what? maybe I'm gonna leave this alone for a bit. But I know that there's big reward waiting for me down there. I think I have like 8 or so different like treasure chests marked because of my exploration in the sky so far,
yeah,
and just finding those, and I'm like, dang it, man! Like, come
I've
on.
got a few. I've got a few marked. I've been like slowly going around to different places trying to figure out where stuff is, but I also kind of
Yeah,
figured out how it's like organized down there,
right,
because it's basically like an inverted elevation map.
right, exactly.
So like if there's a mountain up top, it's a big valley underneath.
Yeah, the,
And water are like these impassable walls.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's
like
true.
so like you can't, like, if there's a river up top, you can't cross that river in any capacity, which is
Yeah,
which has led me to be like, okay, so how do I get into the parts of the depths that are here? Because
right,
there's
right,
clearly going to be depths, but there's no hole, so how do I get to it?
right. That
And
makes
so
sense.
I also have been like, okay, well, this is an interesting looking area of like coastline, and I've done a lot of coastal area of the
Okay,
depths,
okay, nice.
and been rewarded for my hubris. I've also been
Yeah,
horrendously punished because there's stupidly strong stuff down there.
I bet.
Dude,
I just,
it's
oh,
the thing about the depths versus, like, the thing about the depths is you are going to run out of resources before you get anything good. Where I
right,
feel like exploring regions like Akala are more rewarding, or exploring regions that are near the dungeons in the sky are a lot more rewarding because you'll get strong stuff in those
right,
areas. Where in the depths, where in the depths you have, I feel like your everything down there is just crap.
mm-hmm,
But
yeah,
like everything down there just murders you as well.
right, exactly.
And so I never feel properly prepared. um and so yeah, like, I don't know, man. I have spent, oh, have you messed with horses at all?
Yeah, yeah, I have.
I probably spend about a solid third of my time on horseback,
Oh, nice.
because, well, that's how I'm exploring the overworld. Is just, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
taking a horse, I'm hopping on the path,
Right.
like I'm just taking the road, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
let's just go, let's
As
go
you
this
should.
way. Well, I
As you
feel I
should.
feel like a lot of people like beeline places. So
Yep.
like,
Yep.
there's a stable to the like west of Hyrule Field,
Yes.
and if you follow the path north, it takes you like past the big canyon, and if you take the path west, it'll take you eventually up to the Hebra region, and to the like news people.
Yeah. Coincidentally, I also rode horseback up that way.
Yeah, and I just feel like there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
next to
No,
the
there
road.
definitely is. There totally is.
Yeah,
Um,
and I just
I
have it
yeah.
fine. I just think
Yeah.
it's
No.
fun.
Yeah, no, of course. Honestly, I really should be riding horseback more often. I've kind of like found myself sort of like going to a central area, and then I'll do like circles in that area like
Oh my
over and
god.
over again before I move on. A lot of that would be easier if I did it horseback. I hate the idea, and obviously it's inevitably happened anyways, but like I hate the idea of me kind of like passing through an area and not being thorough and like just running by shrines or something, because I don't have the shrine detector yet. I don't know if you do.
I actually
Um,
do.
okay.
You
Yeah.
can actually get it now.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to go back and check that. That actually is one of the first things I want to do.
Yeah.
Go back and check for that.
I because I found out, like, anytime someone's like, "Oh, later this will be a thing that we can do," they basically just mean, "Hey, go do Purra's quest."
Right.
That's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
That's the only time I guess time passes.
Yo, that's kind of wild to me. And we don't have any sort of idea on like how long it's been since the calamity was dealt with, right?
I don't know. I feel like it was like a year or so. I feel like that lore is somewhere.
It's got to be. I'm confident that it's more than a year because of the ages of some of the kids. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
heck, I learned about like there's a couple in Breath of the Wild that I learned now have a kid, and that kid is like apparently about to be on some like rite of passage journey or something like that.
Oh, so maybe it's been a few
So
years.
yeah, like I'm thinking it's been at least, well, I don't know. It's hard to ballpark it, but anywhere between 3 to 5 is my current guess.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I have no idea, and I thought that Pura was going to be a good
Good measurement.
benchmark, but apparently
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, nope, she cheated again.
She did. Oh,
Yeah, hey, yep, yep.
like. Also, shout outs to Twitter for having Pura be the only thing that got through my Tears of the Kingdom muted words list, because
Nice.
y'all had the maximum amount of thirst.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm just because
Yeah.
I muted all the Zelda stuff for like a couple weeks, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I'm like, oh, interesting.
And just Pura. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Oh, dude. It was the look. Everyone was really, really excited when
Yeah,
she
fair.
showed up, and then I don't blame them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But yeah, like I just think I think that I know this has been a very disjointed episode. And I know some people don't like that as much, but I think I just really wanted to talk about this game.
Yeah, and I mean,
And
heck, for what it's worth, I mean, this is also a place for you, the listener, the watcher, to gush as well in the comments. Like, as best as you can, without spoilers, give us something that you found or discovered that, like, you've really enjoyed, got excited about. Share that with us
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely. Like, definitely tell us what you like, what you don't like. Tell me why I'm
Mm-hmm.
wrong and why this game is like game of the year every year, forever.com.
Oh goodness, oh gosh, it
Was
is such a strong contender.
was Breath of the Wild your game of the year, the game it came out?
Yes, it was.
It was not mine.
Oh, sorry. I thought I misheard you. I got too excited. It did win Game of the Year. It was not mine either.
Oh, what
My
was
Game
your
of the Year
game of
was
the year?
actually Mario Odyssey.
Really?
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed my time with that game. Like, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like a ridiculous collectathon. Yeah, but
Oh yeah. I mean, they both
I thought
are.
it was like a true. Yeah, God, that is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought it was like a brilliant kind of like evolution on the idea of the Mario Collectathon specifically.
I
really loved all the
really
locales
did
and
love
yeah,
Odyssey.
yeah, that was my game.
Mine was Near Automata.
Ooh,
Automata?
yeah,
I never know how to
yeah.
pronounce that.
However you say it, yeah,
Yeah. That's probably like Near is probably like my whole game of that whole decade. I'd
yeah.
have to really sit down and think about that. We should definitely like near the end of this year, we need to do like a game awards.
I'd be so down.
Dude, yeah, we were threatening to do that when when the game awards were just not good.
Yeah, yeah. God, what a time that was.
That was stressful. I was just
Yeah.
watching because you did like a whole reaction thing with was that
With
Blue?
Yep.
Yes, and Blue. We'll put remind me to put Blue stuff in the description because my God, that's that's a comfy stream. That's super
Yeah.
comfy.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, like I was just watching that and I was sitting there stressing. Like, no, we should definitely like we'll get some people together. We're gonna make this a whole ordeal. That would be great.
Let's go. I'm so down.
Yes. So, but yeah, like how did Xenoblade not win soundtrack of the year? I'm still mad about I'm sorry.
They didn't play the game.
Zelda. Focus.
True.
Actually, soundtrack. What? Like you mentioned the
Yo.
boss music was really good.
Yes.
Honestly, the main, other than the main theme, I don't know what songs I've heard that aren't just lifted from Breath of the Wild.
Oh, really? Okay.
I
Well,
am I
yeah.
I might be wrong.
No, it makes sense. Have you caught on to, actually there were two things I wanted to poke your brain about. Little fun facts. You
Uh-huh.
probably already know them though. One about the depths. Did
Mhm.
you notice the naming of the light roots?
It's inverse from the
Right.
shrines.
Okay, yeah, and they're in the
I
exact same
did
placement.
notice that. Yeah, yep.
Okay. Okay, so you knew that already. And two, have you listened to Link when he cooks?
No,
You
I
should do that.
usually skip that.
Okay,
I
yeah, no,
usually
you should
skip because
definitely.
oh, really?
Yeah, there are nice little treats for you in there.
Oh no! Oh, I gotta listen to that now.
Yes, please, and like do it multiple times because sometimes there, some sounds will repeat or whatever, but
I
there's a lot in there.
I have a lot of cooking that I'm going to need to do coming up here directly.
Okay, nice.
So yeah. Oh, cooking actually.
Yes, yes,
Something I've discovered, which is really handy, is there's a bunch of posters that have
yes,
recipes.
yes. I learned how to make a freaking pizza, and I've never been happier.
What? How do you make
Yes.
a pizza? Tell
You
me your
actually,
secret.
I will tell you, you've been to the area already where that recipe is.
Oh my god.
It is, yeah, it is in a village.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
now I gotta go tear all the villages apart for this pizza recipe
Oh yeah.
that I didn't notice. I just noticed this like today.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, I need a pizza.
Yeah, it is. Oh, I can't wait to make it. I like finally got like my third ingredient for it, and I was like, I can
Yeah,
make a pizza now. I just
I
haven't given myself the time. Yeah.
I have been I go to like their general stores
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, oh my god, rice and eggs.
Yeah.
Bird eggs are like the one ingredient I will never harvest myself.
Right.
I absolutely positively refuse.
That's fair.
Oh,
Oh.
like I've done a couple things
Hmm.
where I definitely 100% should not have done these, but I
Yes.
decided to go explore Hyrule Castle.
Oh, you brave soul. Um,
It
yeah. No way.
I it was a treat, and then there's like a big hole underneath, and I'm like, how bad could it be? It's bad.
Ooh, I can
It's
imagine.
stuff gets real down in that hole.
I absolutely believe it.
It
There's
was
no way.
it was not acceptable what the hole
There's
made me have to
there
deal
was
with.
there was like a quest that basically prompted me, and I'm sure you've seen it too now.
Oh,
That
yes.
prompts you to go there to Hyrule Castle, and I immediately said no.
Okay.
That's gonna have to stay there.
Okay. I will say that particular location is not too terrible.
Yo, you had to say not too terrible.
It's
I don't
not.
think
I
like
you,
no, I believe you. I do. I do believe
yeah.
you. But it's the fact that it's still terrible. It's not too terrible,
There
but it's still terrible.
I will let you know there are no hands.
Oh my god.
It is
Oh my god.
extremely, I'm going to go with accomplishable.
Oh my gosh. That is a word. That is a word to use.
I enjoyed my time over there, but again, like it's the actually no, there is a different mix of the Hyrule Castle theme. I do know that for
Right.
a fact.
Right.
Because there was the Breath of the Wild Hyrule Castle theme, which was dope. And
Yeah.
that also plays, but there's areas in the castle where a different theme plays.
Okay. Oh, I'm looking forward to that
Hmm.
actually. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty
Um
cool.
Oh, music wise, there's a pretty nice treat for you when you get the like the horse goddess out of her bud.
Oh,
Um
I was gonna go do that, and then I completely forgot, and then I
yeah.
found something else in that area, and then I
Yep.
left.
Of course.
I
Yeah,
was
there's a nice
headed.
treat there.
I literally went up to Akala specifically to do that because I got the fancy horse bed, and the fancy horse bed told me that she was up there. I'm like, oh, I should go
Right.
up there, and then
Right.
I got very distracted. Because I was like, oh, look, the ancient research lab. I should go, check that out. Because Pura has a diary that says that she has a diary up there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go up there. And then I'm like, oh, there's you have this set, so yeah, I know you've been up there. So I found the Yiga clan.
Oh yes, yes.
I've seen that you had that set of armor.
Yup, I hunted them down after the first one.
After I found the first one, yeah, I marked the other two spots on my map. I've been to the second.
Yeah. Gosh, I was so surprised when I ran into the Yiga because well, shoot, I don't know if I should say because I guess that's a spoiler.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I went to go look for the Great Plateau.
I know exactly what you're talking about. You have the auto build now.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So that's how I found out the Yiga were in the game.
Right. Exactly.
I fell down the hole.
Gosh.
I'm like, ooh, what's this? and then it tossed me into a boss fight, and I had like a stick, stick. That was legit one of the first things I did.
Yeah. I forget how early on it was for me. Like it was relatively early. But like I was just my first objective was to just fill in the overworld map, right?
Same.
I did that tower and I just, I dropped down and then next thing I knew I was like on the plateau and I was like, "Oh crap, wait, we're here." So I immediately beeline for the Shrine of Resurrection and man was I surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I did a little more looking around and I can't trust that area to save my life. And then I ran into them there and I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, I actually didn't get any of the shrines up on the plateau. I'm going to have to go back up there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Because I did not go to the Shrine of Resurrection. I'm gonna have to go do that. That might be what I do while this renders.
just adding to the list of things you got to do and things you're totally gonna forget while doing it. Yep.
This is like the third or fourth time we've discussed this too, specifically the Shrine of Resurrection, and I'm like, oh, I should go up there, and then I just have not.
Yeah. It's an interesting site. I will say.
I will definitely go up there.
Yeah,
I will prioritize that for today. But yeah, like I feel like we could probably go on and on and on, but like
we can.
Let's sit down. Let's just give like our like a review, like a proper like review article review. For you can start, or do you want me to start?
Okay. Yeah, no, I could start.
All right.
So in summary, Tears of the Kingdom has been, for me at least, a marvelous adventure so far. I'm actually, at least right now, I'll see like how I feel when the credits roll, but as of right now, I do believe that this is a very, very strong contender for like the greatest Zelda game, which is kind of crazy, right? Like
wow.
when you say something like that, like that's, that's a very profound thing to say. And I will say as well, for my point, like it definitely, or I don't think it could necessarily be that without the help of the rest of the franchise, right? Like to a degree, it definitely piggybacks off of its foundation, which it should for what it's trying to do. But at the same time, I can also see how that actually also gives points against it, right? Maybe because my some of my first impressions of major plot with this game has been with the Rito segment of the game. Maybe there's a bit of a bias going in there, right? But of course, all reviews are at least a little bit biased.
I think every review is biased, but I think like that's why you read reviews of people.
Exactly.
I'll let me table this. You finish.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think like this game is something that you'll enjoy regardless of whether you've played Breath of the Wild, but you will appreciate it so much more if at the very least you've done that extra points if you've played any Zelda game before. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my time with it, to be honest. But I think maybe until Spider-Man comes out, we're gonna see how that game goes. This might already be my game of the year.
Dude, Spider-Man is either going to be like a absolute tier 1 masterpiece or merely fine, and there's not going to be any middle ground.
Right, not at all.
Like, it's not allowed to be good. It's not allowed to be great. It's gonna be like game of the year, or no one's gonna talk about it in a month.
Right. Yep. Yep.
And that's crazy.
It is wild. I
Yeah,
think it'll do just fine though
I
once it's
think.
out.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Hell, I'm excited,
Yeah.
and I haven't played any of those Spider-Mans. Um, I I think that Tears of the Kingdom is very much a game that expects you to spend a very large amount of time not doing almost any of the things that you're supposed to be doing, but just
Yeah.
kind of.
Right.
Tears of the Kingdom is a game that wants you to just spend a lot of time just kind of spending time in it. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know if it would even be useful to like rush a story and like go and rush and do those things, because I feel like that's a
Agree.
worse experience. But I feel like
100%.
the experience that we currently have is like, I'm enjoying myself, and like I said, I'm going to be putting multiple hundreds of hours into this video game.
Yeah.
But I also, it gives me that same like kind of feeling I get with like simulator games. Like Satisfactory
Yeah.
is a game that I spend a lot of time not really doing active things, but it's one of those games that I'll think about, and I'll sit and I'll be like, all right, what's the plan? What am I gonna go do? Where Tears of the Kingdom is very much like, ooh, shiny. What's over here? Ooh, let's go over here. Ooh, let's go over here. Oh, let's
Right.
ride the horse for an hour. Once I have the map fully unlocked, I think I'm just gonna literally take like my horse, and we're just gonna follow the path, and I'm just gonna hit all of the stables.
Yeah.
Just do a loop of the whole, just do a big circuit of the whole map.
It's
Like, hit all the
time.
stables, all the settlements,
Yeah.
and just like not do anything else. Because I think that would be fun. I think that would be an interesting like little experience. But that's not doing the
It would be.
story. That's gonna take like an
True.
hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh, hey. That
And
is the story of your legend.
yeah, and yeah, I think this game does. It leans on the fact that Zelda is a franchise with what, 30 years of history behind it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I feel like this is definitely like a culmination. I don't know how many of the glyphs you've done. I've done about 4 to 6 of them. I don't actually know.
Only the one. I specifically have like memory number 3 or the tier number 3.
Okay.
And that is the one where you first find Impa at, that I'm aware of anyways.
Oh, over by the stable.
Yes. Yes.
That's on the west side of Hyrule Field.
Yes. So I've
Why do
only
I
done
talk about
that
that
one.
stable so much? It's like my favorite stable.
It's
I go
good,
there all
a
the
good
time.
spot. It's a good spot.
I go to it all the time. There's so much crap around it. It's so useful.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I've done a few more. I've done them out of order. Now, we've both seen the map room.
Yes.
And I have not been in the map room, or I've been in the map room. And I know what the order is, because if you look at the wall, it shows you the order that they go in.
Oh, okay. I didn't put together that that's what they're for, but that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, well, it made sense to me because I did the castle glyph, which is pretty nearby to that area.
Yes.
And then, like, because I took a picture of the order, because I'm like, oh, this might be relevant later. And then I noticed, oh, this is in a sequence, and those are right next to each other
Right.
in sequence on the thing.
Right. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So, and then I think I found the last one accidentally. So
Oh
I'm like,
no.
yeah, so I'm like, oh man, there's some stuff happening here. So like, there's like, I feel like when I've gotten all the story together, this will probably be my favorite Zelda story.
Right. Right.
But I don't know if it'll be my favorite Zelda game.
I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that too.
Yeah, and And like I love the Zelda story, so like I'm thrilled, and I feel like there's also the possibility that they're gonna kind of throw out the Zelda timeline.
Right. Yeah.
I have this inkling just based on like the little crumbs I have. I think the timeline's gone.
Yeah, likewise. Like when I hear crumbs of people saying that like, oh, Nintendo has said, or Eiji Aonuma has said, and it's basically things along the lines of like, you know, oh, Breath of the Wild will be sort of the blueprint for Zelda games going forward and things like that. I'm like, okay, like, you know, you're probably done with everything before this. Then that makes sense,
and that's fine. Like,
yeah.
Like if they want to do like kind of a hard reboot of the franchise, like, and then we consider like the previous like games prior to the Breath of the Wild to be like a separate like entity than everything after Breath of the Wild, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's more than fun.
Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I'm thrilled. Like I think that it's going to be good, and I have a feeling like I'm going to enjoy the next 200 hours of this game.
Same here. As a random little like thing, by the way, kind of just thought about it. So I know we literally just kind of discussed the idea or the possibility that they're going to be getting rid of continuity, basically, right? But there's a Ganondorf in play, and there can really only be at least as far as we know, right? Again, you can change the rules, but as far as we know, there's only really like two, right? Technically. I mean, child and adult timelines. So it's like, wait a second.
See, if they throw away the old timeline, then the rules don't matter.
It doesn't exactly.
As we have heard very recently, rules are made to be broken.
That is true. Hey, that's a good time for that.
Speaking of which, go watch our Starro episode.
It's time.
It's time. Anyway, it's also time for us to leave because otherwise we're going to ramble. And we've already done plenty of that. Thank you all for kind of hanging out and listening to this slightly shorter, slightly less focused. If you liked this, thank you. Leave a like, maybe leave a comment below. If you didn't like this, maybe leave a dislike, leave a comment below. Thank you, that people who listen to me when I tell them to do that. You're my favorite. You're my favorite.
Thank you so much for listening.
All right, bye.
Later, everybody.